You've got to hear this. XRP, a security. Screw what Torres says. A court just came out and said, yep, XRP is a security. I've got the case for you. We're also going to talk XRP price talk. BTC buys. Yeah, whales have been purchasing. What about those regs we've been waiting for? Crypto companies applying to be banks along with...
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
Well, happy Easter Monday to y'all. We got green on the screen, green in my background. I told you I'd keep it going to keep the pump alive. Well, guess what? We're going back to the blue because it looks cooler. Before we get into the hot crypto news, listen to this. Court saying that XRP is a security. States' rights versus federal. I told you it would happen, but now it's playing out in the direction we didn't want. This is not cool. I've got that story and so much more to share with you. But before we get into that, your comments. Hot, spicy, naughty, relevant. Maybe I'll share it beginning of the next video. Doran Butler, channel member, thank you for the support, says, I totally get that, especially when you weren't being insulting with an offer, or at least a sales pitch, a reason in trying to stay firm. Yeah, had a member's video. I was talking about some swag that I was looking to buy, a bid that I put out that someone was like, no, girlfriend, I'm not accepting it. They didn't even give me a counter. I still haven't gotten a counter, and I've placed several other bids, haven't even gotten a message. I know, Easter weekend. Jeremy Touche, I accidentally deleted your comment. Sorry about that, sir. I tried to answer comments this morning without my glasses on. Big mistake. Someone's getting old and maybe a little retarded. Jeremy Touche, channel member as well, says, I feel special when you do a member-only video. By the way, hope you all had a great Easter weekend. I had an amazing Easter weekend. Got to spend some time with my mom, my dad, my brother, my doggies, my wife, my son. It was freaking awesome. Jack Likes Stellar, who made a comment on Twitter, my info's linked down below, says, Klaus, Reach Rockin' is behind this. She's one of the best Stellar supporters out there. This project isn't some pump and dump mean casino coin. It's about building community. How you handled this was pretty gross. Very, very bad look for you. I would recommend being, look, I'll be honest with you. I bring the news whether it's good, bad, happy, or sad. And some ideas are completely... Are you retarded? Let's examine some of those ideas. Aquarius. Remember when Aqua was touted to be the biggest thing for Stellar, adding liquidity? Here's their chart up on the screen, and I called their project completely stupid way back here. There you go. What about Dylan Mulvaney and Bud Light? That was another idea that was what? Are you retarded? Oh, what about Canary Capital filing a pudgy penguin ETF? Are you retarded? Yeah, my job is to bring you the news, good, bad, happy, or sad. And real players out there don't sugarcoat stuff. Colleges that have safe zones for people where you could cry safely. This is the pussy world that we live in, and that's not the world I live in right now. So if you post a project out there that's public and it sucks, I'm going to call you out on it. You know what people in crypto want? They want a project that makes them money. They want a project that brings people in, that keeps people in. They don't want some bullshit. Ask Bud Light. Yeah. Not every idea is a good one. And the concept out there that you should treat people with kid gloves is absolutely stupid. You all see that when I do these videos, I even read the comments that are good, bad, happy, and sad. I read the haters' comments, don't I? King Shaka Zulu, I'll read his comments every so often. What about Patrick Egnan? I'll read his comments as well when he rips into me. I don't delete the haters' comments. I share them. Why? Because I don't live in an echo chamber or a pussy chamber. That's what this world is all about. Have calluses on your hands and paper skin. But you better have my money. Bitcoin sitting at 86,888, ETH at 1608, XRP at 210, while Sol's at 136, 8 at 63.8, while XLM's at 225, 5 Sweet at 223. All right, so what's happening with regs? We got to talk about this because the state of Oregon now is going after XRP in a new Coinbase lawsuit. Well, they're not going after XRP. Well, okay, we'll get into that more. Look, we need the regs, but here's the deal. These players are off all this week. I've got their schedule up on the screen, and it's all linked down below. These players in the house are all off this week. Then they come back to work next week, all right? Schedule has it like this. They're probably not tackling stablecoins in April. They're probably going to get to them the 1st or 2nd full week in May. So we got some time, everyone. That's not good. Why? Well, we'll get to it, all right? Because guess what? They said, Thalia, your ruling sucks and we're not listening to you. Oh, yeah, Torres, you know how you said XRP isn't a security? Guess what? You can suck balls too. Yeah, states' rights versus federal. And just like Trump said, yo, you know how states' rights is cool? We're going to let states do BTC and crypto reserves. Those states now that are anti-Trump, anti-crypto, are using that to their advantage. This is messed up. But first, MicroStrategy and Sailor, the maxi of them all, says, yo, girlfriend, I'm raising more debt. I'm using more of your money to buy BTC. And by the way, everyone, happy Monday. Monday and money both start with M. Easter doesn't. Easter starts with an E. Strategy buys another 6,556 BTC after BTC reached its monthly high. I told you I would have green in my background all through Easter just to keep us going. And guess what I did? Now I got blue because it looks cooler. MicroStrategy filed with the SEC, letting them know on April 21st, yo, that's today, that's breaking news, girlfriend, that they bought more BTC. They bought 6,556 BTC, worth about $500 million. So far, the company has now bought a bunch of BTC this year. That's just pretty true, let's be honest here. In the case of Strategy, common ATM refers to the market offering of the company's common stock. The latest purchase brings their holdings to 538,000 BTC, worth around $36 billion. Their average price is 67,766. So they're doing pretty good. They're about 20,000 per BTC in the green. All right, so Sailor, he's got a little bit of breathing room right now. Here's the thing, though. Mark your calendars, and I'm not talking about the House of Representative calendars where these pieces of shit only work a few days a year. No. I'm talking about your financial calendars. Why? Because on the 1st of May, after the markets close, 5 p.m. Eastern time, MicroStrategy is holding their earnings call. They're going to talk about if they're making money or losing money. They've lost money 4 quarters in a row. Last week or the week before, they sent out a warning to all investors that said, hey, look, we might have to sell our BTC to keep the lights on to pay our bills. Yeah, we're going to find out now if it's 5 months in a row of losses. Here's the announcement from Michael Saylor regarding Master and their BTC buying. Again, that's all linked down below. My Twitter information's linked down below. I've got a lot of naughtiness that I've been doing over the weekend. Circle in BitGo, apply for bank charters. Oh, girlfriend, golf clap. See, I bring you the news, good, bad, happy, or sad. So yes, I called Aqua a complete piece of shit, and I was right. Oh, it's going to bring liquidity to the Stellar chain. You know what it did? It drained retail of money so Aqua players can pump it and dump it on you. Yeah, some projects are piece of shit, and I tell you about it. Listen to this, though. According to an April 21st, again, more breaking news for you. And I brought you news on Good Friday, on the Saturday before Easter, and I brought it to you on Easter Sunday. According to an April 21st Wall Street Journal report citing people familiar with the matter, Circle, BitGo, and others are considering applying for some sort of banking license. This is freaking awesome. This is crypto going, oh, TradeFi, traditional finance, banks, you don't want to play with us? Well, then we'll just be one of you. Oh, that's crypto wanting to identify as a bank. Oh, so you want to identify as a chick and say you can get pregnant? Well, guess what? Crypto is learning from your playbook. We want to identify as banks. Other firms cited include the publicly U.S.-based crypto exchange Coinbase and the stablecoin issuer Paxos. The U.S. Office of the Comptroller of Currency granted a preliminary conditional approval for Paxos in 2021. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell recently said that the digital assets gained mainstream adoption, establishing a legal framework for stablecoins. It's a good idea. He basically said that the crypto space needs these regs, but we learned, that's why I brought this up in the beginning, that the effers in Congress are on vacay for a little bit. Yeah, they're working in their regional districts right now. Okay, this is big, because we've seen with Operation Choke Point 2.0 and we've seen with the federal government that the federal government is moving slow AF, right? The whole states' rights versus federal rights. So what happened was the federal government was like, yo, since we're moving slow, we're going to back off and we're not going to hold the states back. That's when a whole bunch of states said, oh, this is awesome. We'll go ahead with our own strategic reserves. So then what happened after that was what, everyone? The states went ahead with that. Then some states were like, oh, so if you're going to allow us to do whatever we want states rights-wise, we're going to say screw your federal judges and screw the judges, and we're going to screw crypto over ourselves. Don't worry, we're going to get to that story. This is messed up. The good thing here, though, is that you're going to see these crypto players use this states' rights stuff and go into it as banks. Now, would we have liked to have seen these players do it federally? Yes, but you know what? At this point, the federal government is slow as shit, and if we got to go through it the states' rights way, just like we are with cannabis, then guess what? Let's frickin' do it, girlfriend. As long as we cross this finish line, even if we're missing a leg, we're missing an arm, let's frickin' do it. Now let's learn, because you're going to learn about a little bit of red versus blue in this channel. Oregon. I wonder what color that state is. Snubs XRP ruling in new Coinbase lawsuit. Aw, shit. Girlfriend, no. Girlfriend, no. Male, female, blue-haired giraffes. Some ideas are bad ideas. The lawsuit filed under Oregon state law. I told you, states' rights versus federal rights. Accuses Coinbase of unlawfully selling crypto assets that the state claims qualifies as securities. So again, this is that states' rights versus federal rights thing. And since the feds have openly said, yo, states, this is going to basically fall on your back until we get our regs done, and we know that ain't going to happen soon, right? We're not going to get XRP and crypto regs until we get stablecoin regs. And since we're not getting stablecoin regs at least until May, and then the regist of crypto regs aren't going to happen for months after that, that means these states get to do whatever the fuck they want. Red state's going to be doing red state things. Blue state's going to be doing what, everyone? Criminals. I mean, blue state things. My bad on that. Sorry. I grew up in the Chicago burbs, so I know how that shit runs. Here we go. You ready? They're basically saying XRP is a security and that Coinbase is selling unregistered securities. The SEC has previously alleged that similar violations in a high-profile federal case. But on February 27, 2025, the agency and Coinbase agreed to dismiss the claims. Now, hold on. Oregon's latest action appears to sidestep that dismissal, basically saying, no, girlfriend, that doesn't apply, not in this state, triggering concerns of legal redundancy and political motives. Paul Greenwald, Coinbase's chief legal officer, responded strongly to the complaint, pointing out its selective presentation of legal context. According to Greenwald, the lawsuit notably omits Judge Falia's order granting an interlocutory appeal in the SEC case in regards to Torres' ruling in the XRP lawsuit, which held that certain crypto sales did not constitute securities. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So now we're looking at this going, oh my gosh, what a mess. Yeah, totally what a mess. Because it's awesome that we're getting states' rights because the Fed is going so slow. But the problem is we have some states that lean way over on this side of the spectrum, some states that lean way over on this side of the spectrum, and we've learned that this side of the aisle doesn't want to work with this side of the aisle. So yeah, girlfriend, just because Torres ruled XRP a security doesn't mean shit, because the federal government is letting states do what they want. Ooh, this is messed up. Now let's look at the broader crypto market. Volume, we're going to wait for it to pick up. Right now we're sitting at $48 billion. Nothing too exciting going on right now. Oh, I'm sorry, I just hit the refresh button. It's at $69 billion. Nice, well done, Klaus. All right, let's swing it on over to XRP price talk. Right now we're sitting at 211. Volume for XRP is up 46% from the really boring weekend. You can tell that it basically picked up when the week started. Yes, traditional finance coming in to give the crypto market a little bit of a boost-eroni. I told you that during the Easter break we were going to see what? Some slowdownage, and yes, that's exactly what happened. We got the slowdownage going into Easter. We get a little bit of a pump-eroni right after the Easter when the traditional finance markets opened up, and that's exactly what happened. Now, let's start setting some alerts right here. They're going to be pretty easy to do. I want $2 on the low end, and I want $2.15 on the high end. Reason I want $2.15 on the high end is this candlestick right here on the 16th of April, and these two right here that happened early this morning. We couldn't breach $2.15. In fact, we touched $2.14. You should touch the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out. But then we got pushed back down. So I want to see, can we push right through that $2.14 into the $2.15 zone? And can we maintain north of $2 as the news develops this week? Now, this week, what are we looking for? Some economic reports. We want to hear from some Fed players out there. And we want to get more updates on the schedules for what? When they're going to start doing stablecoin regs, because we need that to get done through the House and Senate before what? Before states start undoing all the progress that we made on what? On the federal level. Because just like I've been telling you now for the last, 2 years, it's going to come down to states' rights versus federal rights, because the feds are like steering the Titanic. We see the iceberg. We're about to hit the iceberg. We can steer ourselves safely away from it. But we're like, no, it's not time to steer the ship right now. But sir, if we steer the ship right now, we will avoid the iceberg. No, we don't need to steer the ship right now. We're good. But sir, we should steer. No. That's the federal government. Yo, so this states' rights versus federal rights thing is gonna get dirty. And why? It's because we've got one side of the aisle that's way over here, and the other side of the aisle that's way over here. So yeah, with those two being so far apart, they don't want to work with each other. Which is good in a way, because that's what? That's what made cannabis rights happen in the United States. The feds couldn't come up with something that worked for everyone, so they were like, yo, Cali, Colorado, West Coast, do what you want, we'll let you be. And we're like, okay, cool, we'll let that happen. But then what happened? Now you got it with crypto, where these players are like, oh, Torres, we're not going to respect you because according to our state laws, XRP is still a security. So Coinbase, you're still in trouble for selling securities. Yeah, so it's got the good and the bad of states' rights. That's why we need the federal regs to clean this mess up. That's why we're looking at stablecoin regs, because as soon as we're done with those, then we could go with what, everyone? Regulating the rest of crypto. But Congress is slow as shit, steering the boat, steering the Titanic. Now, in terms of XRP's price, hey, we did good through Easter. Volume absolutely sucked. Told you it would. Now volume is picking back up. Told you it would. Price is picking up with that volume. Told you it would. What do we need this week? We need to maintain the momentum that we have going through stablecoin regs. I'm expecting to get a little bit of a boosteroni, right, into the market, right, with some momentum, some hype, some juiciness, with players going, oh, okay, we're getting some stablecoin regs, it's awesome. I also want to get some good news with tariffs. I do not want to hear anything bad about China and tariffs, because we know that could just tank the market on the way down. Now, in terms of things that are good, bad, happy, or sad, hey, that's my job. You know, that is my job. I am also a White Sox fan. I am a massive, massive White Sox fan. And you know what? It's not fun for me to watch the White Sox get pounded time and time again. I'm not going to sit here and go, yay, White Sox, we're good, we're great. No, they suck. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. My wife and I are watching the games all the time. We have like MLB season pass, right? So we watch every game. And we're sitting here and we're looking at each other going, oh, relief pitching still sucks. Oh, our cleanup hitter is batting 143. Oh, that still sucks. We don't sugarcoat this shit. We don't live in a world where we believe in safe spaces. If someone we know is working on something and we think it sucks, we're going to tell them, we think that's a dumb fucking idea. You want to sell sand to people in the Sahara? Well, good fucking luck. I've got a bridge I want to sell you. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing about this world. People want to live in these safe spaces. They want to live in these echo chambers. And I'm tired of that bullshit. Because when you live in an echo chamber, you know what happens? You cover your ears to the stuff that you need to hear. Because that criticism is often right. Because if all you hear is the good, all you think you're doing is good. And if all Bud Light did was listen to the good stuff about, oh, it's awesome what you did with Dylan Mulvaney. Yeah, blue-haired giraffes now are going to drink Bud Light. Bud Light would have been wrecked. But instead, what did they do? They listened to the criticism. They told that lady in marketing, yo, girlfriend, you really messed the F on up. And what did they do? They totally revamped their marketing. They put some dudes that are way on the other side of things in there, and now they're starting to turn their image around. Because they listen to the criticism rather than putting themselves in a safe space. So if you launch a project that's public, guess what? Be ready for criticism. I launch public videos every day. So guess what? I'm ready for the criticism in the comments below. I don't delete them. I don't give a shit if they're super harsh. I don't care if they're super positive. They're all constructive. They're all good. How much weight, how much effort, how much stock you want to put into it, that's up to you. But when you launch shit that's public, have the fucking cojones to stand behind it. And if a lot of people are out there saying that your stuff sucks, well then it sucks. If the only people telling you that your stuff is good is the people within your circle, well then you have an echo chamber and you're surrounded by people that what? People that aren't helping you. Those are people that are only telling you what you want to hear, not what you need to hear. And that is unhealthy. And that's a lot of crypto circles. That's why this channel is growing so fast. Because I'm not sitting here filling you with hopium. Because I give you the news, good, bad, happy, or sad. Wine 'em, dine 'em, 69 'em, reach around 'em and make 'em happy. No, girlfriend. Choo-choo what? Choo-choo bitches is what.